So what I'm saying here is the decision to build or buy is not a simple one because you have to start thinking about the timeframes involved, what success looks like, what are the immediate needs, what do you want this to look and feel like within your organization. Hi, and welcome to Helping You Perform. I'm your host, Paul Teasdale. Over a career working with high-performing teams from across the globe, including 7 years working with Formula One team McLaren, I've learned a lot about what it takes to drive results. In this weekly podcast series, I'm going to be bringing you tips, tricks and insights from the world of Formula One that you can apply to your organisation for your high performance. Enjoy. Hi everybody and welcome to another episode of Helping You Perform, where I bring my tips, tricks, insights and stories from the world of Formula One and other high-performing teams to help you accelerate your own performance. I hope you enjoyed last week's episode 57, where I talked about reframing the term laziness into efficiency of effort and what we can do to find ways to be lazy and to be efficient with our efforts and achieve the outcomes we desire. In this week's episode, I'm going to follow up on a conversation that I've been having with somebody, one of my clients recently, but also it ties in with some stuff that's been happening in the world of Formula One quite a lot, particularly as the season starts. And it was towards the end of last season and into this season it's been happening, which is this challenge as to, do I build talent or do I buy talent? So when I want to have the best talent in my organization, what's the best strategy? Is it to build talent or is it to buy it? Now, the interesting thing about this is that there's probably no right or wrong answer, but let's look at some of the examples that are out there and see what we can learn from them. So the big one that's been in the world of Formula One recently is Lewis Hamilton. He's making a move after a number of years and a number of very successful years at Mercedes into Ferrari, who haven't been doing, well, they haven't been doing too badly, but they certainly haven't been on the podium lots and looking to sort of dominate that sport, which is where Lewis Hamilton typically wants to be. But they've taken a strategy of buying in that talent. And in the case of Lewis Hamilton, that does not come cheap. So they've taken a strategy of saying, right, if we're going to shift where we are now and take a step change in performance in a short period of time, one of the things that we need to do is to invest heavily in the talent that's there and available in the market. Now, compare and contrast that with what McLaren have been doing over the last few years, which is to build that talent by bringing in Lando Norris and Oscar Piastri and building that talent over a number of years, nurturing them, giving them a long-term view of being part of that organization for a long term, and also helping them to say, right, we're going to build this together. We're going to be using your input, using your talents, yes, to deliver what we can, but together we're going to make things better. And as an organization, we will all get better as well. Now, those are two sort of ends of the spectrum, and a lot of these strategies can be sort of mirrored in everyday business as well. So if you need to get a new manager in, or new leader, or a change agent, somebody into your organization, what's the best way to do that for your organization? Is it to bring somebody from outside, somebody with a proven track record, who maybe is going to cost you a lot of money? And it's going to take a lot to persuade them from where they are now because they're already sort of high performing, but you're going to entice them into your organization so that you can buy in and accelerate that knowledge and that talent into your organization in the hopes that it will deliver for you in the long term. Or do you take a slightly longer term view, which is we're going to build and invest in the talent we've already got in the organization and bring somebody up from within so that we can nurture that talent, drive it in maybe a way that we've got more direction over. If you bring somebody in, they've got their own ways of working, their own thinking, and that can be very useful to shake up the game. and shake up the thinking. But sometimes if you want more direction and more control over the direction, then maybe the opportunity is to build that talent from within. So what I'm saying here is the decision to build or buy is not a simple one, because you have to start thinking about the timeframes involved, what success looks like, what are the immediate needs, what do you want this to look and feel like within your organization? Do you risk sort of alienating the existing talent in your business if you bring somebody in and basically usurp them and sort of leapfrog them to say, I know you thought there was an opportunity for you to step up here, but I'm going to bring somebody else in turn from an external source. Maybe you start to lose existing talent because they don't feel loved and nurtured and cared for in your organization. However, it might be that if you can tell the story and engage those people enough, they see this as a really great thing because it's something they can learn from. Similarly, if you're looking to nurture that talent and bring it up, then you might sort of have more control over, engaging those people, but making them a long-term part of the vision of the organization. But people might see it as not really shaking up the way things are working and keeping more of the same. So there's lots of things that you need to balance out, both in terms of timeframes, but most importantly in terms of the way that it affects the performance of not only that individual who is looking to move into the organization or up within the organization, but how is that going to impact the rest of the team and the performance that goes around that as well. So I'm sure you've got some things in your world where you're thinking about building or buying talent. It can be anything from, I'm looking to do my bathroom up at the moment. Do I try to do some of that work myself, or do I buy talent in? Maybe I want to develop my own skills, learn how to tile. Don't tell my wife, because my tiling is terrible. But this sort of thing where you decide whether or not the right thing for you and your organization at that time is to try things and build up that capability, or do you do you buy in that talent that has a proven track record so that you can guarantee that performance to a higher level? So if you want to have a discussion with me, you want to have sort of bounce some of these ideas off, talk to me about the challenges that you're facing and how some of this thinking can help you get some clarity over what you need and look in the right places for the talent that you're trying to get, then please do go to paulteasdale.co.uk, set up that free 30 minutes, and we'll have a chat and we'll see where this goes. I'll speak to you in the next episode. Thank you for listening to this episode of the Helping You Perform podcast. If you found value in this episode, please take a moment to like, share, or review the podcast. You can reach out to me at any time, either through LinkedIn or through my website at www.paulteasdale.co.uk. I look forward to speaking to you in the next episode.